Rev360, Nigeria's new digital tax portal, and what it means for taxpayer. If you have been following the developments, I'm sure you will not be hearing Rev360 for the first time. But if you are hearing it for the first time, then just keep calm while we dive into it, what it means for taxpayer and what it stands for generally together. Oladejo Adeyemi is my name. I remain your foremost business coach who designates his time to reading the tax laws so that you don't have to spend as much time doing the same. Let's take a deep dive. Rev360, like I said, is the Nigeria's new digital tax portal. Was launched by the old Federal Inland Revenue Service, now Nigeria Revenue Service, and was launched since 30th of April this year. It becomes necessary to have this conversation today because for most companies, for instance, filing is going to be happening this month. Because of the timing of filing, some of the questions I've gotten from some of my followers, which we are going to be dealing with in subsequent week. Rev360, like I said, is a self-service platform. It is new. It is the latest tax administration portal that Nigeria has deployed. The Nigeria Revenue Service has deployed it. It is capable of resolving end-to-end issue. It is more sophisticated and more elaborate. The user friendliness compared to the old platform TaxPro Max is also better. In fact, this is an improved system and improved platform over what Nigeria has had before. Some people have said that it's the end of afterthought compliance platform because it factors in your balances, it considers what you might have left out, So it's a more robust platform than what we have had before. What is the practical implication, or what are the practical implications of the deployment of Rev360 on businesses? Whether you want to do TIN generation, you want to do you want to file returns for VAT, you want to file or you want to file your income tax return. All of these activities are can be safely done, on the platform. And this is particularly important because where a company then has historical record on TaxPro Max, those issues must be carefully resolved to ensure that proper transitioning is done from the data that you have on TaxPro Max, and how you have been onboarded as an entity into the new platform. So what should you be doing now as a taxpayer, considering the deployment, the recent deployment of Rev360? The first is for you to be reviewing your taxpayer profile information. DNRS is configuring and setting up taxpayers on the platform. A lot of taxpayers have received the prompt that their profiles have been created. You need to review the correctness of such profile. You need to also reconcile your prior filings and payments such that what you have carried onto the platform, because this is the transitional phase. What you have carried onto the new platform, is accurate. You also need to validate your withholding tax balances. Withholding tax, as we have dealt with in the past, if you have any question on that, just let me know. I'll be very happy to go back and explain some of those concepts again. Credit can be used to offset your income tax liability. So your withholding tax credits are actually significant impact to you if the balances have not been correctly moved. So you want to check whether the balance that you had on TaxPro Max has been correctly reflected on the Rev360 platform. If you don't do that now, the gap, based on the fact that you are going to be having subsequent transactions and there will be additional compilations of withholding tax credits, any gap you have may be lost within this transition period. So it's very important that you pay attention to that withholding tax balance. Also check that there are no outstanding liabilities. At the moment where new deployment is done like this, it is not unlikely that there might be some glitches here and there, particularly with respect to records and balances. This is not the time for taxpayers to be careless or nonchalant about what those records or those brought forward balances are. So you want to pay attention to that. You also need to be sure that you have all of your support documents before filing. We're going to talk about filing in a couple of weeks, even maybe next week or before the month of June runs out, so that everyone knows exactly what is expected of them with respect to that. If there are people in your finance team, in your tax team that also need to be trained, the service currently is organizing a lot of stakeholder engagements and a lot of training, trainings to build capacity on the interface, on the Rev360 interface. I enjoin you to join, some of those trainings, register for them. Let your finance and your tax team, even you yourself as a business owner, you may be doing yourself a lot of good by ensuring that you are a part of that. Rev360 represents a new face in Nigeria tax administration, and the truth is, it signals that the future of tax compliance in Nigeria will be digital and it will be data driven. We are now in the era where if something is missing, it can be pointed out, by reason of the platform that you have used, to file. So it is not just a new portal, it is a new compliance culture. In the era that we are in now, the last thing you want to do is to have filed your returns inaccurately, or you have compiled your documents or your proof in such a way that it does not represent the format, that the authorities expect you, to have prepared, those proofs. So only those that ignore all of these warnings and all of these cautions will have themselves, to be blamed. But for those of you that are following this channel and you are listening to this and watching this right now to say this is the new platform that the federal tax authorities, have put in place for taxpayers to continue to interact with the authorities, you have nothing, absolutely nothing to be worried about. Again, I enjoin you to take advantage of some of the trainings that are ongoing right now to ensure that taxpayers are properly familiarizing themselves with the platform and that you are well equipped with the knowledge that you require to be able to discharge your civic responsibilities in terms of filing. Till I come your way again, I remain Oladejo Adeyemi, your foremost business coach who designates his time to reading the tax laws so that you don't have to spend as much time doing the same. Bye for now.